I finished it. Let's talk about Unravel Me, the third book in the Playing for Keeps series. Okay, so I just need to say right off the bat, this book was a 5-star read to me. I loved it. It had me feeling all the feels. I felt connected to the characters. I have some cons that I'm gonna get into at the end of the video. I really liked Rosie. I loved the perception of all the other characters. I really like how Olivia and Carter are starting to we're seeing their personalities shine even more than in their book. I love how extra Carter is, and I love how sassy Olivia is. I even like Jenny more in like this book than I did in her own book, and I like Garrett less, which if you watched my review of Play With Me, it was Flip versus Pro. I really liked Adam as a male main character. He just like did everything right to me. I was connected to him. He is just stable and the good guy, and you just gotta love him. There's nothing you can't love about Adam. Even just how he always made Rosie feel so confident and always boosted her up. There was just so much about him that I really liked. I loved how he told off, spoiler alerts. There are spoilers in this. If you have not read this book yet, please save this for later, come back, and then let's talk about it. I love how he knocked out Brandon and told him off. Brandon to me was the scum of the earth. I hated him, especially as a mom. The way that I saw Red, anytime he was in the book, I just, like, he made me cringe, and he didn't deserve to be a dad to begin with, and I just can't believe that there are people in the world that are actually like that, because to me, I see red when I think about him. I hate him so much, which I think was the point, obviously. We were supposed to hate him. Ugh. The only thing I wish they would have maybe done a little bit differently in the book, like the little satisfaction I would have gotten, is for him to be like really starstruck by Adam, realizing that Rosie was like dating him. I loved how he incorporated anything with her childhood. I loved how he volunteered at, I don't know if it was a foster home, if it was like a nonprofit. I think it was just like a nonprofit. I'm not sure exactly what it was at this point. I loved how he is just so good with kids and a charity man. You can't help but love a rich athlete who's giving back. You can't. I loved his relationship with the girls. I loved his relationship with Lily. I loved his relationship with Connor. I obviously loved his relationship with Rosie. Loved it all. Anything that Adam was a part of, he to me could do no wrong. Even how he dealt with Courtney, you knew you never questioned him. You knew he didn't do anything wrong. You're just like, Courtney's crazy because we hate her from the first book specifically. I do want to talk about one con with Adam. It is him hiding his job. It just kind of seemed like a cop-out way to give him some sort of conflict. I don't think that needed to be drug on. I wish they would have given him a better conflict. And I think with these books, I've had to just kind of realize that they're very cliche types of books. I don't know how old this author is, but to me, some of these things, which I'll get into in like kind of my other cons, but the writing just seems forced. Another pro though was I loved the character development of Carter and Olivia and just all of the whole group essentially. I love getting to see more of Jackson and his relationship with Adam. I kind of just want to talk about Rosie because this isn't really a pro or con. This is just how I personally connected to the character, which how you connect to characters in a book is really going to influence over how you view the book. Personally, I'm a mom and I've also lost a parent, so I could relate so deeply to these like feelings of motherhood. I even had a C-section, which Rosie had a C-section in her book, and the way that I again saw red when Brandon was like, oh, you took the easy way out, sir. Personally, as someone who has delivered a baby both ways, there's not an easy way out, okay? I could just relate to so many things and some of the feelings she had just about being a mom and wanting to be enough. And obviously Connor just stole our hearts. He's just this little cutie, and my daughter is about his age, so I just really, really loved the book. The way that I was about to cry when Bear was potentially not gonna make it, I broke when that part of the book was happening. So I loved how Adam handled the whole Courtney situation. If we want to talk about Courtney, I think that her presence in the book, which is a con to me, was very forced, and it was the page taken right out of One Tree Hill. And it's a very common conflict, I feel like, where it's a fake pregnancy or like a real pregnancy, gets pregnant by someone else, tries to pin it on the rich athlete or rich person to get money out of them. I was very intrigued the entire time about who was calling Adam. I didn't think it was going to be Courtney. I thought it was actually going to be something like an agent wanting to offer him a job somewhere else, or if something happened to his parents, or even like someone finding like a member of his family trying to get a hold of him, something of that sort. And then the third con, and this is probably the biggest con I have, not even of this book, but maybe this series, but I really noticed it in this book, is that the spice in this book was awful. It's so forced and performative that couples that hang out in a group, whether they're athletes or not, don't talk that way to each other. They're not always so lovey-dovey. They have more like sarcastic remarks, but they're not constantly saying how much they love each other and talking about their sex life all that much. I don't mind a jab like here and there. I think that part was like kind of funny and kind of relatable, but that's not how guys talk to each other, and that's not how people talk to each other. And like they're either always talking about how in love they are or about their sex life, and that to me was just very like off. And the spice, like I've never wanted to fast forward through spice so much in my life because it just felt so performative. I don't know. And it's the same thing I kind of said in Play With Me, where just the spoken dialogue overall, even when Rosie was telling off Courtney, my only big con was those parts of the book. My last natural thought, and this has nothing to, this isn't really a pro or con, but I definitely thought that Emily was going to be sprinkled into the book a little bit more. I kind of wish she was. I don't know if it's because she has a bigger part in another book. They're just kind of, I will say, I really liked her. At the end of this book, I realized that it wasn't probably going to be Emily and Jackson. It was going to be Lennon potentially and Jackson. Love triangle deal going on. But that's kind of my Spark Notes version of, if you also read this book or this series, what were your thoughts on this book? Did you love Adam as much as I did? So excited to watch how their little family grows. Oh, also the ending of the book. I loved Adam wanting to adopt Connor. I loved their also adopting Rosie or Lily. I'm thinking about it now, I just realized that Lily and Rosie both have flower names. Like that is so cute. I can't wait to watch their family develop through the next 2 books. Their family is the epitome of a found family, and that doesn't matter how you make a family. This is one of the reasons why I didn't like that Rosie didn't know Adam was a professional hockey player until later. If she would have found out earlier, I feel like we could have watched more of her journey working through him working with the foster system, and I wish that would have been more of a theme. I loved the ideas and concepts of this book. I just feel like it could have been written better, and that's just me getting really, really critical about it. I loved the way the book ended. I loved that they got a cat. I loved that they adopted Piglet. I loved they adopted Lily. I loved that. I loved all of it. Like and follow for more cozy hobby content.